Well, it's time to get the old bicycles going and start riding again. I have placed some figures on the screen for no other reason than to suggest that we are all aware of the circumstances that got us to where we are today. However, we, average people that we are, have no control whatsoever on the factors involved, and we, lacking the funds to influence the powers to be, may not expect changes anytime soon. Having said so, though, we do have some controls on our own lives.
Sir, what do you think about people riding bikes these days?
Well, I think it's a great way of getting around. It's certainly an economical way of getting from place to place. You save a lot of money on fuel, and a nice benefit of that is you actually get to burn your own fuel, which is great for fitness, keeps you in shape, keeps your mind sharp, and I don't think there's a better way of getting out and seeing the countryside and just enjoying the benefits of getting around and enjoying yourself.
Thank you. Well, what about the cost of bike riding?
Well, it's really not that much when you compare it to some of the other ways of transportation. You don't have to insure it, you don't have to constantly fill it with fuel, and really the initial expense is rather small. Typically for a bike shop quality bike, you're spending anywhere from $300 on up to $1,000 for your typical bike, or whatever fits in your budget is more than suitable for anybody.
Great. Thank you.
There are 4 things that we should do, really. Number 1, we should exercise some control on our transportation habits when we can. Number 2, we should support cities that are bicycle tolerant. That is, cities that really emphasize exercise and the use of a bicycle. The third thing we can do, of course, is to take control of our own health by applying the factors as they relate to us as an individual. And the fourth thing is that we should do everything we can to protect the environment. It really is not a political issue. Back to that first thing that we can do, and that is to control our transportation. One of the answers may well be the bicycle. Yes, the good old bicycle. A quick trip, for example, say 5 miles, to the store to get bread and milk, or just to run an errand. If you do that 4 times per week, that's 1,040 miles a year. Now, if you get 19 miles to the gallon, and that's really doing good, that's a savings of 54 gallons, or $218 if you're paying $4 per gallon. Not to mention the carbon emissions, not to mention the wear and tear in your car, not to mention the exercise, not to mention calories burned.
A bike rider. Why do you ride a bike?
Oh man, I love riding bikes. Riding bikes gets you out into nature. I run and I swim as well, but there's nothing like biking. It gets you out here and you can smell the smells, enjoy the sights, gets you outside, gets you out from the inside, and there's nothing quite like it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Speaking about calories burned, and get ready to pause your recorder. If you are a woman, this is the formula for you to determine how many calories you should be burning per day. You should be eating per day, rather. And before you calculate, consider what your ideal situation is and calculate for that. If you think your ideal weight is 130 pounds, then calculate for 130 pounds. Some people may believe that they're overweight or obese, and maybe they're not. This is the formula to determine, and keep in mind it is not official, it's strictly an unofficial guide, but this is the formula to determine whether or not you are in fact less than normal.
Did you say you had a program you wanted to tell me about?
Well, Trek has a program that they call One World, Two Wheels, and it's really a call to action to all citizens of the United States and really of the world just to ride their bikes more, because the bike is really one of the more perfect machines, and when you think about it, it really has the power to change the world. It changes the population and how they feel and how fit they are. It changes the environment for the better. Bikes are obviously a lot better for the environment. They don't pollute. And it really relieves a lot of congestion on the roadways. I mean, if more people rode bikes, the roads would be a lot less congested. And when you think about it, a lot of people, they work really close to their house, and a lot of the customers that I meet, they only work 5 or 7 miles from their house, and that would be such a great bike commute. And if they did that every day, if they rode their bikes to work and home every day, they burn probably 500 calories just in that trip alone. And for a lot of people, that might make the difference between losing weight and gaining weight. And I think that's One World, Two Wheels says it all, really.